morning, everyone. I'm Olivia Hollaus for Boca magazine, and we are joined with the managing partner of Ged Lawyers, Marius Ged. So nice to see you, Marty, as always.
Good morning, Olivia. Nice to see you. It's been some time.
It has been some time. We're going through withdrawal here, so it's nice to get to chat with you this morning. And we are talking about a very apropos topic. And we'll start off with the recent increase in car accidents. Is that because more people are going back to the workplace and not working at home as much?
Totally. So I think we can all know as we've gone out and ventured out over the past couple of months, there's just been so much more people on the road. And you're seeing that, well, I've noticed at least in Palm Beach and Broward, that all the snowbirds made it down this year. And they, even though they've probably have been quarantining for a while, they've recently most likely gotten their vaccines, and it's just crowded out there. And I was actually in Miami last week during the week for a business convention, and was just shocked on the amount of tourists and people down there. Florida's wide open and there's tons of people on the road. And unfortunately, when that happens, people make stupid decisions and accidents occur.
Right. And would you say at your office you have seen an increase in cases?
Absolutely. It's look, accident cases are dependent on how many people are driving. And in the beginning of last year, call it March, April of COVID, the beginning months, there was no one on the road. You can literally go out and it was like a hurricane day, if you remember. No one would be on the road. So in that instance, there's obviously less crashes. That's the way it goes. So being said, there's more people on the road and there's more frequency of people doing dumb stuff.
Yeah, so you got to really be careful. No texting while driving and paying attention on the road ahead. So we've talked about this before, but I think it's super important to just keep reiterating. If you find yourself in a car accident, what are the steps that you should take?
Sure. So the first thing you should do is obviously make sure you're okay. And if you're not okay, call 911 to get medical attention. And once you get medical attention, I think most important thing after that is going to a doctor. Excuse me, if you're injured, going to a doctor and making sure that you're being treated for the injuries that your chief complaints are related to. In addition to that, it's important to document the damages. And what I mean by that is if you're at the scene and able to do so, you would take pictures of the accident, your vehicle and the other vehicle. And then if obviously you're not at the accident, you can hire someone such as an attorney to make sure they document the damages for you. In addition, when you go to the doctor is going to help you identify your damages or your injuries, and he's going to document your injuries and the injuries that you have sustained as a result of as a result of the auto crash.
Right. And at what point would you say we should call you?
So the most important thing again in the accident is to make sure that you're okay getting the medical treatment that you need. Under Florida law, currently, the way it sits today, and we will talk about that in a little bit, there's the Florida no fault PIP statute. And under the Florida no fault PIP statute, you have 14 days to present yourself to a medical provider to be diagnosed with an injury. If you don't make it to a doctor within 14 days, you forgive or you waive all your rights against making a claim against the person who caused this injury. So it's extremely important. And a lot of times when you're involved in an accident, it's not day one that you feel pain. It's day two, three, four that the pain starts to show itself or present itself, whether it's neck pain or back pain or whatever the case may be. Because when you're involved in the accident, your adrenaline is rushing and your body just is dealing with the moment, so to speak. So those injuries generally don't present right away unless they're significant injuries. So it's important that you get to the doctor within those 14 days. Once you get to the doctor, then you want to retain an attorney to make sure your rights are protected and make sure the case is being handled properly.
Right. All really great tips. So let's talk about the personal injury protection law. I mean, there's a lot going on here in the state of Florida. What is the status of this? Is it going to be changing? Has the governor, reviewed it? Is he going to sign? I mean, you are at the pulse of this.
We've been living this every day for the last 3 months since session started. So where we sit today, unfortunately, there has been a bill passed by the Senate and the House, which is required to make it to the governor's desk. And the current bill that has passed is a repeal of the Florida PIP system or the no fault system, which will, in my opinion, create a very bad situation for Florida consumers, in that it'll remove the $10,000 of mandatory PIP, and it'll increase the limits required that each individual insured has to carry to $25,000 per accident and $50,000 in the aggregate. And what that will do for sure is increase the Florida drivers' insurance premiums by an average of 10 to 30%, if not more.
Wow, that's a lot. I mean, we're already, a lot of people actually don't have auto insurance. So this is really probably going to make that number also go up. Is that a ramification you think you'll see?
Guaranteed. Florida is one of the top 3 states in the country with uninsured motorists. We have over 4 million people on the roads who do not buy car insurance. That's scary. And if the insurance premiums go up, that number most likely will go up. The thought process is, if they can't afford the insurance now, what's going to allow them to afford the insurance if it goes up? And then they're just not going to buy it.
And you think the governor will sign this bill?
Look, no one knows what the governor is going to do. He's an independent man. He does what he thinks is best for the citizens of the state of Florida. I can tell you there's been a lot of opposition to this bill, a lot of common sense opposition to this bill. And I point to 2 letters that I've seen, one from the CEO of Progressive, and one that I actually received the other day from Allstate, who I have my insurance with, suggesting that we contact the governor, that their insurance people or their insureds contact the governor to tell them how bad this bill is. Both the CEOs of Progressive and Allstate, and I'm sure others, have written the governor and asked him not to pass this bill, that it's going to cause a significant increase in insurance premiums for Florida.
Right. Well,
Again, it's the trial lawyers who want to get this done.
Right, exactly. Well, listen, we're going to keep watching and seeing, any new developments, regarding that, because it does affect everyone, and even the insurance carriers, they're against it. So that tells you a lot.
That's a scary thought if they're against it.
Exactly. It really is. All right. Well, my last question, which, is always a lighter one. What do you think is the biggest misconception that people have about attorneys?
That's a really great question. So I think one of the fears of, or one of the biggest misconceptions, is that you have to always hire an attorney and give them a retainer up front. Our firm, the majority of work that we do is on a contingency fee basis, which allows a consumer who doesn't have the money to hire us and allows us to fight for their justice in the civil court system. So I think one of the biggest misconceptions is people have to have a significant amount of money to hire a lawyer, and that's not the case all the time.
Right. And you are result based, which is really great. So
Absolutely.
not every law firm is that way, but you are. So that's really good to know. Well, thank you so much, Marty. It's been so nice to chat with you. It's been a few weeks, so we look forward to the next chat, and we will keep an eye on this bill and how it develops.
Great. Anytime you need more information, we're here. We have the pulse of this.
You're definitely in on all the details. So we thank you so much for everything, Marty. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too.
Thank you. And to our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, we wish you a wonderful Thursday and a wonderful weekend. Bye.